Continued from part 1. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Why do you think you can't get tryptophan in the US? Because it would rival antidepressants as a cure for depression and they make too much money off of it. The story goes there was one bad batch of tryptophan that came in from Japan and people got sick off it. They isolated the batch and removed it from the shelves. Problem solved. But then they banned all of it from being sold in the States. I smell a rat. Something fishy about that. You can still buy it in Canada. Ivo, I say to you all, you are all in the finding fault and assigning blame game. Look at it as a game. Sheran had her leeks stolen from her garden. She does not like thieves. She asserted herself with her neighbors but harbored unforgiveness for a long time. Why? Because she was stuck in the blame game. Guilt being the next step of the game. Seeing fault, assigning blame, and finding guilty parties. Your legal system works that way as well. Why do you think that is? When you are forgiving of all, you are in the correct state of mind. Why? Because you do not play the blame game. The deep state and dark planetary controllers brought the blame game to your planet. They believe this is the truth themselves, and so you can see that this is a very low vibrational state of mind. To assign fault and guilt to others is of low frequency. And they have taught you to be this way now. Earth was a planet of duality in the third dimension, and because it was a free will planet, it was desirable for these beings to overtake it. With free will, that meant they could train you to be as unloving as they are. With being a dualistic planet, that meant that negativity could survive if not thrive here. They used your minds to create the hell that many live in now. Some have escaped from this hell, and I am schooling you in this now. See others with forgiveness. Forgive yourself for ever believing in the blame game. See all as just being, do not assign negativity games to it. The blame game is one such game. There are others. Assigning negativity must stop because there is no negativity in the fifth dimension, only love. So assign love to yourself and others. Me, how else do we do that? And what does this have to do with seeing yourself as perfect? Ivo, if you saw yourself as perfect, if you stopped blaming yourself, finding fault with yourself and simply focused on raising your vibration, you would understand you were perfect. Me, yeah, but Ivo, to raise your frequency you have to stop all dualistic behaviors. Ivo, therein lies the rub, my dear. Me, so you have to keep looking at what you're doing wrong. Ivo, no, my love, you have to understand when your frequency is too low to be able to express your perfect God self. There is nothing wrong with what you are doing. Me, getting out of bed in a bad mood and being pissed off with the world isn't wrong? Ivo, it is not, my love. It is indicative your frequency is too low. Me, what am I doing at night time that lowers my frequency? Ivo, you are transmuting much of Earth's negative energy. You are working on selected spots around the world and working to raise the light on that part of the world. If that is doing something wrong, then you must forgive us as well because we ask you to do it. Me, oh. Ivo, so you see, my love, you need more light. Light is information. You need to know more so you can get over your learned ignorance and understand your divine role in all of this. It is not about being bad, being wrong, being flawed. You took on the misunderstandings of your adopted planet in order to change them. If that is being wrong, then we are in the wrong as well. Me, oh. I stand corrected. Ivo, you are now informed. You are not corrected. Do you see how your blame/shame/punish game is playing a toll on your mind? Me, yes. Ivo, you have heard that the people on earth are doing the best that they can. They are not. They are perfect, all of them. They are all playing a part in the enlightenment of others upon earth. If you all forgave each other your perceived wrongs, you would all rise to the fifth dimension. But you play the blame game. Blame slash shame slash punish or seeing fault slash assigning blame slash finding guilty parties. All types of the blame game. You see the blame game going on now between the US Democrats and the Republicans. Trump attempts to defend himself to the public while the Democrats go on the slaughter. Do you see where you learn it from? Where you learn to be a victim? Where you learn to be a perpetrator? Both these parties are waiting for you to rescue them. You hold the power. Americans are forced to play the blame game. But your world will move past this as eventually all will begin to stop assigning faults to themselves and others. In so doing, your world will more begin to reflect the perfection that was intended. Me, so how else do we see ourselves as imperfect? How can we correct that? Ivo, forgiveness corrects everything. When you see yourself as too fat, forgive yourself. You got that way because you learned that you were not perfect, which is a lie. Any human who does not see what a marvel of creation they are every day feels they are imperfect. Once you accept your perfection, your chakras will balance. You will rise in frequency and you will go to the fifth dimension. Beware of demanding to see yourself as perfect now because you will be shown how you continually see fault within yourself and within the system. And it could be a crash course. So be careful. Ask to be shown at a pace you can manage. Me, yes, that happens because higher dimensions work more quickly than we do because they vibrate faster. When they download information to us, it sometimes is at a rate much faster than we can assimilate. So we have to keep getting the lesson over and over again so we can move more slowly through it. That's why we make progress in learning our life's lessons, having to loop through them over and over until we learn enough to move away from the loop. I guess when our frequency speeds up, we can go through our lessons faster and learn more in a lifetime, then retain that wisdom. Ivo, plus you retain the wisdom learned from previous lifetimes. On Earth, behind the veil, you went in cold. Me, yes. Ivo, we would not send any but the strongest of souls to do this, and then expect them to break through the unreality they are jailed in. But you have done it. Me, yes. And I get told I'm a fearful person, that my energy resonates with fear. LOL. Ivo, I doubt that, my love. This is Narcissus, looking into his reflection. Me, truth. Ivo, an exercise for all of you today is to see yourself as perfect. To see others as perfect. To stop assigning fault and blame to them. With the exception of the deep state, they are the creators of this ruse and they will die by the same sword they lived by and deceived you into carrying for them. When you think how irritating your neighbors are, ask yourself, what if they were perfect? Ask yourself, what is it about me that I wrongly perceive to be faulty? I am perfect, so to see fault in myself is indicative that I have been deceived. What is it that I wrongly perceive about myself? Me, I think arrogant people are annoying. Ivo, aha. So you see the limitation, the fault that you have placed upon yourself that keeps your vibration down? Me, so I can love arrogant people? Ivo, you can love anyone. You are love, so how can you not love others? You are disconnected from yourself through false beliefs, through the matrix beliefs. The matrix says people are flawed. No, they are perfect. I remember a time when you were very attracted to arrogant men. Me, I was. Ivo, this is indicative that at that time, you could love anybody. You had to learn to love your father. Me, I don't know if I'd call that love. Ivo, you love him now. Me, I do. I think I was in a dance with this one narcissist I'm thinking of. He's so great and I'm so flawed. He has the power and I don't. I think our relationship bears witness to that. Ivo, yes. But you adored him. You also adored your younger brother. Me, yes. Ivo, the point is, you do all the therapy and work on yourself to realize that you were always perfect. You just had so many false ideas in the way, that you could not see that. Me, kind of an oxymoron. Ivo, a paradox, to say the least. Ask yourself, what is stopping me from seeing my perfection today? Raise your frequency above its influence and you will see that it does not have a hold on you any longer. Me, so if I think I'm, let's see, bitchy and I change my frequency, I'm not going to be bitchy anymore. Ivo, correct. Then you cannot call yourself bitchy and you must realize that to call yourself these things are not the truth. You are perfect. You must lose your limitations to enter the fifth dimension. Understand as well, you all take on your parents' karma through the system that you live in. Whatever faults your parents believe themselves to have, get passed on to you. So to look at your parents' example is often easier to see the fault within yourself. To assign yourself these labels is folly, because for one reason, they stick, and the more you call yourself these things, the more you project these flaws into the future. To say, I am bitchy, sets you up for a bad day tomorrow. Say you are perfect. You define yourself with these labels and they create a poor self-image and lower your frequency. Then you play right into the hands of the deep state and the matrix. Life is not what you were told it was, not by any stretch of the imagination. Would God set you up to live in such an imperfect world? The world you created is one of your own belief, and those who prompted you to create it God wishes to have expunged from your soil and your minds. That is how God cares about his own. Me, thank you Ivo. Ivo, my love, be perfect today. See yourself as perfect, and when conflicting thoughts come up, pay them no heed. Do not get big-headed, otherwise you will have to acknowledge arrogance in your false system of beliefs. Being perfect and being arrogant are polar opposites.